Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Yuck My Yum, the podcast where we judge movies that the other one likes, and then we have to decide whether we yuck it or yum it. As always, I am Courtney Gilchrist with my host, Carlito Gilchrist.
The husband.
Now,
what people don't know is like after we do this, after we judge, and if we judge poorly, or if we say we don't like it, we get into a huge fight afterwards.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, every time.
Not even a little bit.
So for like the majority of the episodes that you haven't liked my yum.
That's not true.
No. It's pretty earth-shattering. No, it's not. It's fine.
No, it's all good fun.
We're recording this episode a little early too because we got a busy weekend coming up. So I thought it'd be best if we go ahead and just record, get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. So we're only recording this 2 days after we just recorded the last one. So it's not too far in the future from the last episode, which is also still the past from when people will be listening to this. But it will be a farther past than when they usually listen to it.
I feel like my brain exploded.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, you get what I mean.
I think I'm picking up.
Because usually if we record, sometimes we record the day of we release it, and then it's like, people are listening to us like right after, like from earlier in the day.
This is true.
But this will be like almost a week has gone by.
Yeah.
So for this episode, do you want to introduce it, babe? Since you were the one who had to experience it.
So this episode was Carlito's choice, and he had me watch The Predator.
No, just Predator.
Okay.
The Predator, that's from 2018.
Okay. Predator.
Yeah.
1987?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1987 is when it came out. How much did you know about this before watching it?
I didn't know much at all. I just knew there was an alien and he had weird, like, tentacle hair. But I guess it's not really. It's more like dreadlocks.
Yeah, it's kind of like just weird, spindly, rubbery dreadlock things that they have. Yeah.
I think I didn't know much about it. I didn't even know Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Old Arnold. It's probably, I'd say, like, if I had to pick, like, his top 5 movies ever that he's done, this would probably be number 2 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's his favorite quote he has in this movie. His line, "Get to the chopper."
Get to the chopper.
It's his favorite.
Oh, that's, like, Arnold's favorite line?
Yeah, out of all the movies he's done, he likes that one
over
best.
I'll Be Back?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I'll Be Back and, what's the other one? Oh, Jingle All the Way, right? He says that. He says that in the movie Jingle All the Way.
Does he, though?
Yeah, no.
No, he doesn't.
And then when him and Danny DeVito are twins, he says, "We're twins."
No, now you're just making stuff up.
He picks Danny DeVito up and shakes him, and he's like, "We're twins."
I haven't seen that movie, but I know that's not true.
I haven't either, but I know that's a quote from it.
No, no, it's not.
But yeah, so what would you like to know? Would you like to know that why I like this movie?
Okay, yeah, I guess we can start with why Predator?
Why though?
Why?
Well,
the Predator?
Why'd you make me watch this? Well, honestly,
it's very violent.
Yeah.
Like severely.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, this is one of my favorite movies I like to watch when I was a kid. My dad had me watch it.
What movies? You say this all the time. It always shocks me. Like, oh yeah, I watched this as a kid. I'm like, I think you were exposed to very violent movies far too early.
I don't know, and it's really messed me up, as you can tell. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you agree with that. Yeah, just one of the movies my dad rented one night. We watched it, and I loved it. And
how old were you?
Watched it numerous times. I mean, I wasn't like crazy young. Like I wasn't like 8. I was probably like 11, 12, maybe when I first saw it. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like in that range of like when you're a kid, it's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't watch this, but it's like, well, if the parents aren't watching, you watch it. But I watched it with my dad, so it's kind of. So I guess it was fine. He gave me permission. So
yeah.
we ended up watching it. But yeah, I think I always loved it because I love the subtlety of it. Like, I just don't think that they make action movies like this anymore, where you have like kind of like this slow build. It's like you have to kind of, everything has to be exposed immediately, it feels like, and everything's like so over the top nowadays, where it's like the basic plot, if you don't know, the basic plot of Predator, it's like a slasher killer movie. If you've ever seen any slasher killer movie, or you've seen Alien, it's pretty similar to that, except that the people that the killer is going after, they're these soldiers that are sent into in the jungle. I always assumed like South America.
Yeah, they don't really
area.
say, I don't think.
Yeah, but they're sent in there to like, they're apparently to like rescue these hostages, but then it turns out that like one of the guys who's with them, he like not double crossed them, but he lied to him, and actually it was like they were going in there to like get secrets and stuff, and they didn't really have to rescue anybody. So basically they were just doing like this guy's dirty work. But then when they're trying to escape, they get pinned down by this unknown thing that is hunting them, and they don't know what it is. And then it turns out it's the Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like I always liked, it's always like the action. I like the setting. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is awesome.
Buff and stuff.
Yeah. Right at the beginning too, you get
right off the bat when he greets Carl Weathers' character Dylan.
Yeah.
Instead of a handshake, they go into an immediate air arm wrestle.
Yeah, it's like they just clasp hands, but then you just see
just see the giant biceps just rippling, and like it's like
their veins are popping.
Yeah, it's just like, who's gonna back down first?
I think I remember when I saw that as a kid, I think I literally jumped because like the sound is so loud.
Oh, when they clap.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa! And like I was just like, my eyes probably bulged on me. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's arms are like the size of cannons.
I think if their biceps are just as big as their shoulders, it's kind of crazy.
I just can't get over like guys can just have like. People can just have muscles that big, and it always like freaked me out when I was a kid because I was like, I feel like their muscles are gonna like rip through their skin.
Yeah, that could happen.
Ooh, can it?
Like the muscle could rip. Yeah, it's very, very painful.
Like the muscle can rip through your skin?
Not through your skin, but it could tear.
Oh yeah. I know that. Well, I think it like when you're actually working out, you are basically like tearing your muscles up.
Yeah, but in a bad way.
But this isn't a bad way. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that I think I always liked it because like it's awesome, and it's one of those like I could be in any mood and I could just watch it whenever. It doesn't matter. It's always one of those movies where it's like, yeah, I'll put Predator on. Like, I'll sit back and watch this. I don't have to be in a specific mood. Like, if it was even on TV, I would check it out. It was one of those. But yeah, so now I'll ask you, what were your initial thoughts? What did you think?
My initial thoughts were like, man, this is a big old dude fest. Mm-hmm. Just the manliest of manly men in this film.
Well, you got Jesse Ventura, you got Arnold, you got Carl Weathers.
All the men were jacked, every single one of them.
Oh yeah, they were all jacked. And then randomly you got Shane Black.
Would you snicker and laugh at that? I don't know who this is. Like, who is Shane Black? Why is it funny?
Because nowadays Shane Black, he's a filmmaker, and I think this was like one of the only movies he was like starred in.
Like acted in?
Yeah, because he was also on set as a script doctor for this movie. So he was there to like help kind of flesh out the story or kind of like make adjustments here and there that needed to be done. Say like on set, on the day, in a moment to kind of like help drive the story along.
Well, that's interesting that he acted in it.
And then, and he also acted in it. And then also he's like the first guy to
He's the first guy to...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what's interesting about Shane Black is like, because after this he wrote like the first two Lethal Weapon movies, and then he went on. He actually directs movies nowadays. So you never heard of, or have you heard of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
No.
I'll have you watch that. That's a good one. But then he also made Iron Man 3.
I have heard of that one.
Yeah. And the people a lot of people don't like Iron Man 3, but I actually like that one.
Is that the one with like
the volcano people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Guy Pearce or
Yeah, he's
the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Gwyneth Paltrow becomes a fire woman thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that one.
Yeah, that one.
It's not my favorite Iron Man.
But I like all the humor in it. I think it's definitely got that
I like
Shane Black humor.
All the suits.
Yeah.
Come together is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all get destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought he capped off that trilogy really well. A lot of people would disagree with me, but whatever. It's my opinion. No, I'm kidding. And then he also did that Nice Guys movie.
Oh, is that the one with Ryan
Gosling and Russell Crowe? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're like PIs.
And they get all beat up and stuff.
And they keep messing up
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie.
Okay.
But then he also did The Predator, which was a movie that came out a couple years ago, which was basically like kind of sort of a follow-up reboot to the Predator series. I never saw it, but I heard it wasn't good at all. I heard it was really bad. And I was shocked by that because I'm like, really? Because he's proven himself to be a pretty adequate filmmaker, and it's almost like he's going back to the thing that like helped jumpstart his career, and he botched it.
I don't know.
It was just bizarre. But yeah, I never saw it. I've seen all the other Predator movies though. We probably won't watch them though because they're not as superior as like this first one.
Are there 3?
Yeah, there's this one, there's Predator 2, which is very strange movie because it takes place in Los Angeles, but it's not like contemporary Los Angeles at the time. It's like future Los Angeles. It's like, because the movie came out, I think, in like 1990, but it takes place in 1997. And like people, it's very weird. It's like people are wearing like Blade Runner-esque style, I don't know, gang uniforms. And then it's just like future cops, future guns.
So apparently they thought 7 years later or 6 years later did a lot.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, because Predator 1 takes place in 1987, so Predator 2 is supposed to jump ahead 10 years. But right. I don't know. I always thought that was a strange thing. Like, why are we making this futuristic? I think it was maybe, I kind of thought of it as like to have the Predator on like a better fighting ground with the humans. Because like in this movie, in the first Predator, the guys he's going up against, they're trained soldiers.
Yeah.
In Predator 2, everyone's just a cop. So it's like, okay, well, let's make it the future. So it's like more of a challenge, I guess, for the Predator to hunt people down.
Like, if they're in the future, they have more technology or something?
I guess, but it's not really like, they don't really, talk about all that much. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a very bizarre movie. And then Predators, which came out in 2010, I might be wrong. But that's also like, that one's a lot different because it's actually where they take the best killers from Earth and they stick them on an alien planet, and then a bunch of predators go out and hunt them.
And they're all the same alien from this one?
The same type of alien. Yeah. But that one's kind of cool because you actually get to see different versions of the predator. Like they kind of go into more like the different tribes and things like that.
Oh.
So it's like there's good predators, but then there's like evil predators.
I'm guessing the one in this movie was an evil predator.
I always thought he was just like a predator. Because his design is kind of in those later movies, like he kind of just fits more of like that look of like I don't even want to say the good predators, but it's like not the overly dickheadish predators, I guess is what you could say. So I always just assumed like this was just another predator, part of that race, and just got sent to Earth. Like, all right, go in and see what trophies you can get,
So crazy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what else did you think of this?
I thought they did a good job filming the story, like when it was made, like how much, like it definitely, the special effects did seem dated when it came to the Predators, like camouflage stuff.
Yeah.
But his like laser shooting gun thing looked decent. That didn't look bad. It was just when he was kind of like, running around invisible and you kind of see a glimmer of him.
Yeah. It's almost like waves reverberating. It's almost like he's like reflecting the environment to kind of to camouflage himself. Mm-hmm. That's how I always kind of thought of it.
Yeah. So I think they did well considering like what they had to work with. And apparently like everybody who worked on the film was like, this wasn't like just something like fun they wanted to do. It was almost like surviving this film because they were like literally out there in like I think they were in Mexico filming this in Puerto Vallarta, and they said you were running into poisonous snakes and scorpions and leeches, and it was cold, and it was like apparently a very bad working environment.
I honestly got that idea from like watching, because I'm like, this looks like they're really in a jungle and they're all really sweaty and tired. I'm like, I'm sure this wasn't an easy shoot at all, but it kind of reflects in the movie itself.
Yeah, they definitely didn't have to act, uncomfortable.
Yeah, or they probably never had to. Okay, spray down Arnold, make him look sweaty. Like, nope, everyone's sweating.
Not needed.
Well, you said it was cold. What was it? Probably like cold at night.
Like cold at night, like during the scenes where Arnold was just covered in mud.
Yeah.
He was just freezing.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so he was just like, shivering and shaking, and they tried to put like heat lamps on him and stuff just to bring because it's going to put his body temperature lower.
Yeah.
And then he even tried to like, drink alcoholic beverages like schnapps or something. I forget what it was, like to like warm him up, but he said it just made him drunk.
Yeah. I just got really drunk.
Yeah, he was trying to warm me up, but I just got drunk.
You could tell that sometimes it's like Arnold, he's a pretty good actor, but he makes such goofy faces. So it's like, I think of that. It's like, okay, was he drunk when he made that face? Or was he,
Yeah. I didn't hate it. It wasn't super scary as I thought it was going to be, but I didn't like the whole, skinned corpses hanging upside down.
Yeah.
That was disturbing.
Yeah. So like when they dive into the jungle, they find it was like the helicopter of guys they had first sent in. They find the helicopters crash into a tree, and then when one of the guys, we'll get into like all the characters here in a minute, but one of the guys, Billy, he's like the Native American guy, and he's like their tracker. He can just look at tracks, and he can look at the foliage, and he can be like, oh, I can tell this is how many people were here. Oh, this is
where they went.
Yeah, this is the direction they're going. But he climbs up into the tree and they find the helicopter, and then the one guy, Pancho, and Dylan go up there, and it's just a dead pilot. And then Billy finds the skinned corpses of the soldiers.
Yeah.
And it's pretty horrifying. That freaked me out when I was a kid, because like he's just like, oh, because you're expecting him to get attacked by somebody. No, it's just like 3 dead hanging dudes that are just been skinned alive, probably.
Oh, it was
it's disturbing.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how quickly the Predator killed.
Yeah. They're trained killers. Like that's what his race is. Like that is their one drive in life, is just hunt and kill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which you don't know all this from this first movie, which I'm guessing you learn it more with the other movies.
It's kind of, no, I mean, they don't really explain. I think Predator 2, they kind of explain a little bit more about and what they try to figure out. But this one's just played very straight of just like, you're just learning about the creature, the Predator, as the movie goes on. And like, It's not like they don't have any, like, it's not like none of them have experienced this before. And obviously, like, the Predators are very good at their job because they come in, they kill, and they leave. So, like, no one even knows that they were there. And no one's ever taken a picture of it, probably, because it's camouflage. So they have no idea what they're going up against. So the movie has to, like, set it up where everything that the Predator does, you are learning as you go about this creature. What it can do, what are its tactics, and things like that. Mm-hmm. Like even the stuff where after they attack that base, that gorilla base, the predator's like watching them.
Not actual gorillas.
Not actual, like guerrilla warfare, like rebel fighters.
They attack a cave of gorillas.
Yeah, that part's weird. They fight a bunch of gorillas. I'm surprised they won. Well, they did have guns. That was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. It's not actual gorillas. But
yeah, the heat vision stuff.
Well, the heat vision stuff, but then also he almost like records, or no, he doesn't even record, but he can like pick up what they're saying. He mimics.
Because at the end when he's talking, like he's talking. He's just mimicking.
He can mimic what other creatures say, but he uses that as a tag because he'll like mimic,
lure you.
Yeah, he'll lure like other people in because it'll sound like someone they know, and he'll lure them like closer to him, and then he'll get them.
Yeah.
So really interesting stuff. I always thought about like it's pretty cool, you know, just like the little subtle things you learn about the creature as it goes. I keep calling it a creature. It's the predator.
It's an alien.
But they don't. You were like, are they going to call it the predator? Are they going to say predator? They don't.
They don't ever say it. No, they say hunter.
They say it's a hunter.
I'm like, that's just a simile for predator.
Well, I thought it was kind of cool that they actually don't say predator. Because, like, that is funny when they do that in movies. But I'm like, I'm glad they don't just straight up say, it's like a predator. And they look at the camera.
Yeah, because it could be kind of corny or cheesy when they do that.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just think it's cool, like, the little things you learn about the creature as it goes. Let me get into the characters. Mm-hmm. So, all the characters, they're all dudes, except for one girl.
Yeah, all men except for one girl.
Mm-hmm.
Was she like a scientist, or what was she supposed to be?
You know what? They never really say. She was just like with the rebel guys that they attack, and they take her with them probably because like she's a woman and they don't want to like just shoot a woman point blank in the head. So one of the guys, Dylan, who's played by Carl Weathers, he just takes her because he's like, oh, she might know something about other places. We got to take her. So they do. Which I think was the idea of like gives them kind of like a crutch now because it's like they got to worry about her. And a lot of the reasons they start getting like hunted down by the predator, or they're more easily exposed because like she'll run off and then one of them has to go chase after her. And then that's when the predator can get one of them alone and then he'll kill him. But yeah, so we have Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I like all their names.
Dutch.
You got Dutch, Blaine, who's Jesse Ventura. You got Mac, who's the guy who's always shaven.
That was such a weird thing.
And, well, I just always thought because, like, he's bald and he's got, like, such a clean face. I'm like, I think that's just something, that's like a little thing he does. He just constantly is shaving.
Yeah.
You know, he never wants to have any whiskers.
Stubble.
No. Yeah, Blaine, Mac, Poncho, Hawkins. Did I miss anybody? Billy. Oh my gosh, I miss Billy. Billy's the coolest.
And I'm still sour about his death.
Yeah. Billy's
his death
what
was
are you talking about, guys?
Stupid. Like, why did he do that? Like, how? Okay. Most of the men are gone by this point. Except for him, Arnold Schwarzenegger is so Dutch. I think, was it Poncho who they were carrying?
Yes.
And then the girl. Yeah, he gets injured,
so they have to, like, carry him.
And then he knows that the predator is coming, and they're trying to run to the helicopter.
To the chopper!
Yep. And then he just, like, stops. And I don't know if he was trying to stall the predator or, you know, get him away from the others.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's that. I think it's also like Billy kind of knows like we're not going to make it. And I think he's just like, you know, I'd rather go out fighting than running.
But it didn't even seem like he fought.
Well, no, because I think the predator's that good at killing. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, we're going to see Billy, like, go toe-to-toe with this thing, but no.
It would be cool, because he gets all, like, takes off his gear, he takes off his shirt, he pulls up. this big giant machete out, and then he intentionally cuts himself, which I'm like, okay, maybe he's
across his chest.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so he's luring the predator. So I thought he had some sort of plan. But then the next thing you know, it cuts away to what Arnold Schwarzenegger and the girl is doing. And then it cuts back to him, and he's already dead.
Yeah, well, you hear like a scream. You hear Billy scream.
Yeah, I'm like, what? That took all of 5 seconds? Like, I thought we were going to have a little something just because he was kind of the first one to really sense the predator, know he was there, like something's out there. But... yeah, I was a little salty about that.
I know, because I know you liked Billy.
I just thought he was a neat character. Mm-hmm. I thought they did him dirty.
I know. Well, I like his... I know you didn't like it, but so there's a couple times in the movie where Shane Black's character, he's trying to make Billy laugh, and he tells these very inappropriate jokes.
Very.
Yeah. I remember, I heard that as a kid. I was like, what's he talking about? I'm not going to repeat it here because it's very inappropriate. But that's kind of... I feel like that's kind of like Shane Black's humor in a way. Because you can kind of... like in his later movies especially, not so much like Iron Man 3, but like movies where he can kind of cut loose and do whatever. You kind of have like... I'd say it's not that crude as like those jokes that he tells. But it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that tongue-in-cheek kind of humor. So that's why I always liked about Shane Black, like at least his movies. But then, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the characters. So you got Dutch, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the leader.
Yeah.
He's their captain, commander. He's something.
He's not a sergeant.
No, Max the sergeant.
Yeah, but he's like above that.
Yeah. And then you got Mac, he's the sergeant. He's kind of like because like I know at one point he's like sets up a barrier around him like for flares and stuff.
He seems to be good with traps.
Yeah, with traps. He always scared me.
He's kind of freaky, like how he talks and what he does.
Yeah.
Like, he's really kind of like... he says the weirdest things to Carl Weathers' character.
Well, yeah, the scene where... because when they're trying to sneak up on the Rebels base... the Rebels base! Sound like Star Wars. Carl Weathers, Dylan, he, like, trips on some foliage and he, like, starts falling down a hill. And then all of a sudden, Mac's just in his face and he's just like, you give away our position again, I'll bleed you real quiet. Leave you here. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay.
Real quick. Well, I was like, that's kind of like, I'm like, oh, Mac, he's not messing around. Like, he's like, don't do that again. Like, I will kill you and I will leave you here.
And him
I won't hesitate.
Jesse Ventura's character, they were like good friends.
Yeah, they seem to be good friends. His death is pretty gnarly. Jesse Ventura.
It's quick because he shoots him with his laser cannon. Mm-hmm.
And then it almost like burns like a giant hole.
It just goes straight through his body, through his torso. Just
yeah.
Hole done.
There's a part before that always confused me where, like, I think is it like the Predator? Does the Predator like throw blood at him, and it kind of. Because it's like right before he gets shot, it's almost like he gets hit with something. It looks like blood, and he kind of turns around like he's confused, and then he gets shot by the Predator.
Jesse's character?
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse Ventura's character. It always threw me off because I'm like, did the Predator shoot something else, and like, did it spray on like him? Or did because the Predator had already killed Hawkins.
Yeah.
And they had shown like his entrails were like left behind. And it's like, did the Predator like literally like throw some like intestine blood or something at him to like to make him turn around and then shoot him?
I'd have to see it again.
Yeah, it always like throws me off. I'm like, what did he just get hit by? I don't know. But then there's Pancho. Pancho's just like,
he's the Spanish speaker one, right?
Yeah,
because he was like, the girl was Spanish, so he would speak Spanish to her, but then she ended up speaking English eventually. Mm-hmm.
He's got like the cool like. Those like big like shells, that big gun he shoots. Mm-hmm. That I love that part where he goes up to when they're in the firefight, and he's just like, he says to Blaine, "You're hit, you're bleeding, man," and he's like, I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, I ain't got time to bleed.
It's definitely one of those like action movies where it's like you get like the cheesy one-liners.
Yeah, like Arnold says, like he throws him, I think, a knife or a machete at this guy and like pins him to the wall or something, and like impales him, and he's like, stick around.
Yeah, he's like, stick around.
Which apparently that was improv by him.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see that. I feel like Arnold would be good at that kind of stuff.
He's got some quibs.
Yeah, he's very quibby. Quibster.
Got some one-liners.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically all the characters.
Yeah.
And you got Billy, he's the cool, like, tracker dude.
Native American.
He's the native guy. And then I feel like Hawkins is just there to like tell jokes. He's kind of like the comedic relief.
They put big old glasses on him. They're trying to make him look as nerdy as possible.
Yeah, he's kind of like the nerd dude, and then obviously he's like the first one to get killed.
He had some sort of equipment to like radar, or not radar, but like he would track, like he would scan or something. He would use some like equipment to kind of search the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it seemed like that was kind of like his job. I was gonna say, like, I feel like they really don't make action movies like this anymore, you know?
I guess it's a simple story. Like, go in, try to rescue these people. Oh, that wasn't real. There's a predator out there. There's something out there killing us, so we try to find it and kill it.
Right. But I just mean, like, it's not, like, too over the top either, you know?
There's a lot of explosions in one scene.
Yeah, because that's like a big, like...
It's like explosion.
Action sequence.
Back to back.
Right. That's kind of like the only time you get that, though. Mm-hmm. Like, and then it's kind of... It's a lot more, like, suspenseful, I think, like, for the rest of the movie after that. Mm-hmm. But I like that because it's like you get that big fight because it kind of shows, like, oh, this is what these guys are capable of.
Yeah.
And I always kind of thought... Because, like, you see, like, the skinned guys at the beginning. And I always kind of thought, like, I feel like the Predator didn't take them as trophies because he probably didn't feel like, oh, they didn't really put up a fight or anything. So he's like, they're not worthy to take. Like, it's not worthy to take their skulls or anything.
Yeah, that was disgusting. You ripped the skull out, like, the spine of his skull out. Ugh.
Yeah, he, like... They do it pretty well, too, because, like, you just see Billy's, like, body slam up against a tree, and then you just hear the Predator, like, dig into his back, and then it does a wide shot of the Predator in the tree, and it's like this. He gives, like, this battle cry, and he pulls Billy's spine and skull out of his body, and then he just slams it back down the trunk, and you just see the skull, and it's, like, all covered in, like, blood and gore and everything.
It's horrible. Ugh, stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's so, like, the horror elements in this are really good. I think, like, it's just enough to, like, freak you out. Make you, like, terrified of the Predator.
Yeah, he's one bad dude.
Yeah, especially, like, he's just... Like you said, like, he's such a quick killer.
Yeah, well, it definitely helps when you have some laser cannon and, like, a parrot on your shoulder. Just...
I know, I always thought that was, like, a cheat. I'm like, why does he... I get that, like, he's an alien and stuff, but I'm like, I feel like the blaster, that's such cheating. Like, I feel like he should... Yeah, because he can just shoot people from, like, long range.
Yeah, like a mile away. Just pow.
Mm-hmm. And the camouflage.
Like, he has a lot going for him.
Like, he definitely... I mean, I'd say, like, he's still a pretty, like, worthy, like, fighter... Even, like, without that stuff. But you can tell he gets pretty crippled at that point.
Because at the end, when it's, like, literally him and Arnold toe-to-toe, then there's a little more hand-to-hand combat. And that was interesting when he kind of figured out, like, it is heat sensor of what he could see. So when Arnold was covered in the mud... He couldn't see that. Yeah. And couldn't see him. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because at the end, when everyone's, like, gotten killed, Arnold falls into, like, a river.
Yeah, like a giant river and over a waterfall, and he went long ways.
Mm-hmm. And then you can really tell that when the first waterfall, you can tell that's not Arnold falling.
Yeah,
like
you can.
Like, it's obviously not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just some guy.
That's a stunt dude.
Yeah, who's definitely not as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, that would be very hard to have a stunt guy for him.
That'd be terrible for that stunt guy, too. It's just like, okay, you got to do this one part, but you have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so get on that diet.
Yeah, get all buff and stuff.
For this one scene. And he just feels awful. And he's like, oh, gosh, I can't do this. I can't.
It's like, oh, no pressure.
But, yeah, so Arnold, when he goes up to, like, the bank, he gets covered in mud. And so then when the Predator comes and finds him, he can't see him.
Yeah.
Basically. So that's basically how Arnold figures out, like, oh, he can't see me. So I'm covered in mud.
And then he does a bunch of high-end Boy Scout traps.
Yeah. So, like, Boy Scout booby traps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how did he have the time to make all that?
I know. It's, he's the best. They're all experts at that stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm sure he can just whip that stuff together real quick.
It was pretty intricate. It was like a tree... Lots of trees and vines and spikes that he made.
Yeah. To, like, have, like, this mechanism to where, like, if you walk under it and you hit, like, you trigger it, it'll fall on top of you and all that.
Yeah.
That part's awesome at the end when he covers himself in mud and he lights that torch and he does, like, the Tarzan scream. He just, like, yells. He's like, "Aah!"
Yeah, it was pretty... That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. I love that part. It's just, you're right. It's a very manly movie.
It's the manliest movie. It's like, we're men, we're strong, we're bad, we're gonna...
Chewing tobacco.
Yeah, chewing tobacco.
This'll make you a sexual tyrannosaurus.
Who says that?
I
What
know.
does that even mean?
Is that what you want, babe?
No.
Is that what you need me to do? Do you need me to just chew some tobacco so that I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus?
Not even a little bit. That is gross. Yeah, it's just like men, guns, arm wrestles, fighting a alien.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah, it was just the biggest man movie ever.
It makes sense because it's like these guys probably hang out with each other a lot, so it's, you know, that's just what they're used to talking like and acting like and those type of jokes and everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up a picture of, because you saw what the Predator looked like, but there is actually like an original design. Did you see it?
Probably not.
It's pretty horrible.
Apparently the guy who voiced the Predator, he did like the clicks and the gurgling sounds.
Oh, really? Like that?
Yeah. He got the inspiration from like a hermit, a shoe crab or something. Because apparently when you turn them over, they gurgle. So he thought his face kind of looked crab-like.
It does, yeah.
So that's what he kind of like did.
Oh, okay, interesting. Mm-hmm. So people who make movies back then, they're so smart. They really know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Is that the initial design?
Yeah, look at that. It's horrible.
Very less skinnier.
Yeah, it looks more... I always felt like it looked more xenomorphish from, like, Alien.
Yeah, it looks like he's more... not nearly as armored.
No, he looks more just like a straight-up alien. Like, he doesn't have any, like, human... character, like if you look at his hand, like he's got like 3 fingers on his hands.
Very tall, very big.
Yeah, the head's very weird. He's got like big protruding teeth.
Is that what that is? That's teeth?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like its teeth.
So strange. Oh,
Yeah.
so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely changed the design on that.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, and it was played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, which apparently he was only did it for like a couple days, but after complaining,
Yeah, because this was the Predator suit he had to wear.
Being like upset that he was never gonna be seen, that he was just gonna be in this suit.
Well,
he didn't
what
like.
did he expect? I mean, did he know that he was signing up to like, hey, you're gonna play the alien, you're gonna have to wear a costume? Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna get to be seen.
And yeah, apparently he was 5'9", and all the other guys were like over 6 foot and stuff. So they're like, this isn't very intimidating. So then that's when they replaced him with was it Kevin Hall? Is that his name?
Yeah, it's like Kevin. Hold on, I'll look it up.
And he's like 7'2", so
that worked. You could definitely tell too, because like the way that they make the Predator costume it doesn't look very like it doesn't look like he's on stilts. Like it actually looks like he's like moving.
Yeah.
Kevin Peter Hall, which it looks like he did like some Star Trek stuff. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's a picture of him wearing the Predator costume, except without the creepy face.
He looks like such a nice guy.
I know, it just has his like eyes and nose peeking out like, hello. Just another day on set.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Mm-hmm. I know, he looks like such a sweet guy.
I know, he looks like such a nice guy. I can't believe he's 7'2".
Oh my god.
That's insane.
And then he played like one of the most horrifying creatures.
The face was very unexpected.
I know. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I was like, what is this thing about to look like?
Yeah, he's pretty much has Arnold pinned in a corner, like he's got him. But he lifted him up by his neck and he's like about to take him out. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to play a little more with this.
Well, because it looks like he examines Arnold's skull. So it's almost like he's like...
Yeah, because he's turning his head left and right, and you're like, what is he looking for?
Yeah, he's looking... He's like...
Is it like the shape or something?
No, I just think he's just like, wow, this is a really nice skull. I need to earn this.
Yeah, but what makes it a nice skull? That's what I'm like. Is it the shape or like...
Maybe it's the shape. Yeah, it's just It's perfectly symmetrical. There's...
You have a nice skull. I will fight you.
I will fight you for your skull. Oh, great. Okay.
Like, what?
Yeah. There's no bruises, no cracks, no blemishes. There's no acne.
They're acne on a skull.
No, none of that. It's a perfect, pristine... Mwah. Arnold's got a perfect skull.
Yeah. And then, so when he takes off his helmet, it's a lot of, like, pulling off tubes and, like, you know, the air coming out. And then he takes off his helmet, and then you get these beady eyes, and you get this like pincher fang like
tusks
double mouth thing.
Kind of like that.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's like not what I expected.
No, he's very ugly.
Oh, he's very ugly.
It's kind of horrifying to look at, which is interesting because in the later movies when they do some like Predator mask, they actually make the Predator mask like the Predator helmet actually look like the face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the Predator mask in this movie, it's pretty simple. I think because they wanted to like...
Ew.
That's from Alien. But yeah, kind of like that. They kind of make it look more like a Predator face.
I see. Like have more of the pinchers.
Mm-hmm. But this one, I think they kept it simple because it's like they wanted to keep it a surprise of like, what is this thing gonna
what does
like?
he look like under there?
Mm-hmm. Which I always like just like the design of like the mask. I was like, man, he looks cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did well with the design of the alien costume and the makeup and stuff like that.
You said you found out how they made his blood.
Oh yeah. So that part was kind of cheesy to me. Was like his blood was literally this glowing neon green, which I was like, okay, I guess.
It doesn't seem like poisonous or anything. That's just the color of his blood.
No, it's literally his color of his blood is just glowing green goo. And
just to make it more alien, I guess.
Yeah. Because when you think alien, you think glowing green goo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how they made his blood, when they made it on set, and it was literally a mix of KY jelly and the juice liquid from...
Yeah?
Yeah. From freaking... What is it?
Glow sticks?
Glow sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say sparklers, and I was like, that's wrong. Glow sticks. They'd crack open glow sticks and pour out that glowing goo, and then mix it with the lube, the jelly, and there you go. There's his blood.
So if you went to, as we said...
No, we don't say it.
The rave.
No, we
the
don't.
rave orgy.
No, stop.
You could end up come out covered in Predator blood.
That's disgusting. Why'd you say that? You didn't have to say
I feel like the more we do, I feel like we kept it very PG at the beginning, and we've started to slip more into inappropriate stuff.
He says we. He means him.
You swear sometimes.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Wait, not in this.
Not in this, but in previous episodes you've had.
I can't
a little bit.
When?
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember.
Because it didn't happen.
Okay. Yeah, that's what all women say. I don't do that. Okay. What'd you think of the score?
Well, come on. John Williams, right?
John Williams did the score for this?
Isn't that who you said it was?
Is that
now you're making me second guess.
I don't think that was John Williams.
Not John Williams. What do you call it? The other guy. Howard?
Howard. Howard who? Not Ron Howard. Here, wait. I'm
tired. Don't hate me. What? Who did the score?
Music by Alan Silvestri.
Oh, I was way off.
Yeah, he did the Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, Lilo and Stitch, Polar Express, and several Marvel Cinematic Universe films.
A good repertoire there.
Including the Avengers films except for Age of Ultron. Okay. So he's done a lot.
You know what I was thinking? I was actually thinking of Superman.
Because we were listening to the Superman soundtrack.
Yeah, because we were just listening to the soundtrack.
While we were cooking dinner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Isn't that John Williams?
Yes, that is John Williams.
See, that's what I was thinking of. I was like, wait a minute, I'm confused.
Well, you threw me off because I'm like, wait, did he?
I'm like, wait, no, that's wrong.
I was like, no way.
I'm like, wait a minute.
John Williams did the score for Predator?
John Williams don't rope me into that.
Yeah. I feel like it would have been, the movie would have felt completely different.
Probably.
If it was John Williams. No, yeah, it was this guy. He's done a lot of stuff. Yeah. But
I don't know his name, but he did good.
Yeah. Like, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, because you have to make a bad guy sound.
Yeah, kind of sets up the tensity. I like the little trumpet they do too, for like when it's almost like Max giving like the eulogy for Blaine, and then they do it again for at the end when they rescue Arnold.
Yeah, when he is finally rescued, he's just sitting there in that chopper looking just like a ghost. He looks like a zombie. Just completely lifeless.
He just doesn't know.
He just went through a lot, and he is exhausted.
He lost all his men, and
that was sad.
Yeah, and he has no idea what he just went up against. I think he's just reeling from that.
Yeah.
Because like the whole final fight with the Predator, he almost gets killed.
Yeah, he almost lost.
Yeah, because basically once the Predator like takes off his mask and he like throws and
fight him,
and he does his yell, like that Predator yell, and oh my gosh, that part is so scary because it's like he's just like come on fight me, you know what I mean? Like he's just like, let's do this. Could you imagine if the Predator was just coming up to you like, come on, let's do this, let's fight?
Like,
you're like, no, I'm good.
Go away.
But then he obviously has the upper hand on Arnold because he's just toying with him. Like, he's just punching him. And he's trying to make it more of like a earned kill, I think.
Seems that way.
So when Arnold, like, he actually has him pinned... Well, he tries to get the Predator to go underneath that trap.
Yeah.
And it's like come here, kill me.
Come get me.
It's awesome because then the Predator's like, okay. And then he
he looks up and he sees the spikes and he's like, nah.
I love that.
I'm going to go around.
He has such a great look on his face because he's just like, I'm not stupid, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. Come on.
Yeah.
So he goes around, but then I guess Arnold had set up another trap where he has a log come down and literally smashes the Predator.
And the Predator's just laughing.
Well, he uses Billy's laugh. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, he mimics Billy's laugh from earlier in the movie.
Because what did he say right before that? Like, what voice did he mimic?
He mimics Arnold because Arnold
he does?
is about to kill him, and he just goes, what the hell are you? And the Predator's like, what the hell are you?
Oh, yeah.
He just repeats it back to him. And then he just starts laughing like Billy, and he sets up his little EMP bomb. Yeah.
His wristwatch thing.
Yeah.
It's not a wristwatch, but it's a thing on his arm.
It's a detonator.
Yeah.
It's like his self-destruct. They probably have it so like if that were to happen, so like
Yeah.
so that they don't know that they exist. It's like, hey, look, if you're gonna die, blow yourself up. We don't want people to know.
It's their version of a cyanide pill,
basically, but it like completely incinerates them probably, and it's almost like I said, an EMP bomb, because it's like as it's exploding, you see Arnold running, but then you see like all this electricity like shooting up through the trees and all this stuff. So it's kind of neat. So it's almost like this completely like incinerates everything within like a certain like distance, probably just so you have no evidence. But then again, he did drop his blaster. I'm sure the blaster got got destroyed in the... Because remember, he takes his blaster off and he throws it in the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I hope humans don't find that. Mm-mm. But, yeah, that's Predator. I'm looking at my notes, trying to see if there's anything else. But yeah, the score's awesome. I like the little, like, bongo, like, they do, and it's just like this, like, the characters are just, like, looking around. It's just, like, this tense moment of, like, what we're trying to find and kind of things like that.
Yeah.
Practical effects are great. Creature design's great. Well, okay, so then I guess I'll ask now, do you yuck it or do you yum it? This is interesting, because I honestly don't know what you're going to say.
I think...
Because I feel like you were enjoying, or you were at least entertained.
Yeah, like I think I was in it. I was invested. I think I like was questioning certain things, but I think overall it was still a solid movie. Like it set out and made exactly what it was. It was this action-packed, alien like movie. That I think they made it exactly what they intended to do.
Right.
And yeah, I think they did it well. So it's like, I don't yuck it.
You don't yuck it.
I don't yuck it.
No, you can't yuck this.
No, I don't yuck it. I don't think I need to see it again.
No, I mean, I'd imagine most of the movies I show you're probably going to say that for.
It's like, yeah, okay, I've seen it. Like, I've seen The Predator. I now know where the get to the chopper quote comes from. See his face.
Now you got to see Alien versus Predator.
Is it the same Predator?
Not the same exact Predator. No, that Predator died.
I know, not like the same exact Predator, but the same race of alien or whatever he is.
Yeah. They're all like the same. They're all part of the same thing.
Right.
I'm trying to... I'm going to look up what the Predator is and see if I can pronounce it. Because it's actually... They have a name for the race, but I can't... I have to, like, look at it.
I didn't know there was a race.
Well, that's what they are. The Predator... Here. Also known as the...
Yautja?
Yeah.
Yajuta.
Yautja, or Hishkulten.
What?
That's what they're called.
How about...
I don't know. I didn't make this up.
Yautja.
I know there's
weird.
like comics too. Like the Predator's been in like comics and everything. I want to say, did they make a Batman versus Predator comic?
That would be crazy.
No, you know what they actually did? They not too long ago they did the Archie comics. They were writing new Archie comics, and they actually had the Predator show up in the Archie comics.
What?
And he hunts down like characters in Archie.
Oh.
I know, I swear it's a real thing.
They have no chance.
Yeah, hold on, let me look it up. Archie versus Predator. Yeah.
That's crazy, because they would have no chance.
Oh, obviously not. Yeah, boom, right there. And this is real, too.
That's ridiculous.
They actually did this. I want to see Riverdale do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if they could get the rights to Predator.
Yeah.
I'd watch that show.
Bring in Predator.
If they just brought in Predator, what they should, you know what they should do? I haven't watched any Riverdale, so I'm sorry if you've seen Riverdale and I'm about to upset you. But whatever the stuff is that happens in that show and all the big mysteries and everything, they should just, at the end of the series, it's the Predator.
Yeah.
It was him all along. It was him all along, just messing with them. And he's just like, and then Archie sees him and he's just like, you got us. And Predator's like, you got us. Because he can't say I got you. He just has to mimic it back.
Right.
No, I think they should do that.
You should let him know.
Yeah, I'll write him in. I'll write in and just be like, y'all should do this. But okay, yeah, so is there anything that you learned about me from watching this?
You're a simple guy with simple likes.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need much. You just need a good...
I just need my Predator.
Yeah. You just need a good story with some good action, and if it's done well, then you're happy.
I was going to say probably one of my other favorite deaths is when Dylan gets his arm cut off.
Oh, that was great. That was gnarly.
And then the arm falls on the ground. It's still shooting.
Still shooting.
Yeah, from like the muscle reflex. I know. And then the Predator comes up with his like double
it was like
claw thing, and he...
Yeah, I hated that. I don't like impalements.
Well, okay. Well, our friend Paul actually wrote in giving his opinion on the previous episode, because we asked if anyone wanted to write in and have an idea, because like our argument at the end of the last episode, which we did In Your Eyes, was when they ride off into the sunset on the train,
right?
What happens to them?
Was it a happy ending where they just go to Canada and live their lives?
Yeah.
As it kind of seems to imply.
Right.
Or would they have gotten caught? Or
I think they would have gotten caught.
Right. So.
Right. But yeah, so Paul basically suggested, like, he gave his opinion on the matter. So we thought it might be interesting if more people wanted to write in, give future letters, like give your opinion on such subjects and everything like that.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any questions, comments, reviews, then we could bounce off of that and incorporate it into the next episode, and then we could give you a shout out if you'd like and feature you. So we thought it'd be cool just to kind of hear from you guys of what you guys are thinking of the podcast so far, and if you're following along with us with these movies, if maybe you thought of something about the movie that we didn't say, and then we could,
because everyone has their opinions on movies. Like, because after we did that last episode, he shot me a bunch of texts of, like, because apparently he had seen the movie In Your Eyes, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a movie he's seen before?
Yeah, it's a surprise. So maybe other people...
He gave us a bunch of, like, what his opinions were and stuff on it. So if anyone else has any opinions, because a lot of people are listening to the last episode right now. So I think if anyone wants to, write in, like you said. Mm-hmm. One thing I did find funny that Paul mentioned, though, was that he think it'd be funny, like, if they run away to Canada and then they're like, using their powers. Yeah, and then Professor Xavier shows up.
That would be crazy. They're mutants!
They're mutants! That would be kind of cool. Like, if there were actually mutants in the X-Men universe that actually had, like, powers like that. They were just connected randomly.
Yeah, they just had this telepathic connection.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he teaches them, since he's Mr. Telepath, to teach them how to hone in their abilities.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, like, one of them they could use that for, like, infiltration stuff. Like, one of them could be a spy somewhere, and then the other one can just kind of show, like, this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I'm hearing, this is what I know, and all that kind of stuff.
That would be a good duo that way.
That would be pretty kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you guys liked this episode, feel free to give us a like or review, shout out, and any suggestions on future episodes. If there's some movie, show, book that you guys really love that you'd like us to review, we'd be happy to check it out.
Yeah, totally would. We'll yuck your yum.
Yeah, we'll yuck your yum.
Or yum your yuck.
Or yum your
yeah.
Or yum your yum.
Or yum your yum.
Or
we'll yuck your yuck. Again, everyone, you can follow us on Instagram at Don't Yuck My Yum Pod. If you want to write us in, we have the Don't Yuck My Yum Pod at gmail.com.
Or you could send us an Instagram message.
Yeah, send us a message on Instagram. That's always fine too.
You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast,
We're
that's
there.
where it goes.
Exactly.
That's where it shoots at. Shoots up at. It's where I'm tired.
It doesn't shoot up.
It doesn't shoot up. No. Gosh. I'm so tired.
I know. It's a late night for us, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But thanks again, everybody.
Thank you. Yes.
For listening and going on this ride with us. And if you like Predator, let us know. If you hate Predator, let us know too.
Yeah. If you like Predator, let me know and we can watch it together.
Yeah.
I'll invite you over.
He needs friends.
Yeah, I need friends. And then, Cord can you can just stand there and shake your head like, oh, I can't believe you're watching Predator again.
I'll make you brownies.
Oh, good. Brownies. What kind of brownies?
Whatever.
Banana brownies.
I don't think that's a thing.
Well, make it a thing.
Okay, I will make banana brownies.
We'll see how this goes.
Well, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.